Welcome to your custom-tailored deep dive. We take the sources you send us and, well, we extract the real story.
Right. We dive straight into the good stuff.
Yeah, and today, you handed us a massive, sprawling catalog from HDTVSupply. Just scrolling through this thing is wild. I mean, we're looking at thousands of pieces of mega tech for commercial setups.
Oh, it is huge. Like
Yeah.
160 by 160 screen HDMI matrix switches, massive 8K video walls.
Yeah, exactly. The kind of stuff you see dominating a high-end sports bar or a huge stadium.
Yeah.
But tucked way down at the very bottom of this massive list is what we're actually focusing on today.
Right. This one very specific thing.
Yep. It's a small device called the SurgeX SX-DS-158 Defender MultiPak. Okay, let's unpack this. Why does one small power device matter in a literal sea of giant 8K screens?
Well, it really comes down to the sheer scale of vulnerability. I mean, we all love looking at those massive seamless video walls, but the electrical demand required to power those, highly complex interdependent digital ecosystems is staggering.
Right, it's just a ton of power.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the flashing lights distract from the fact that these setups are incredibly fragile.
So to picture that fragility, I like to think of this commercial infrastructure less like a standard living room TV and more like, well, a highly pressurized water system in a skyscraper.
Oh, that's a really great way to look at it.
Yeah, you have incredible amounts of power constantly flowing through the pipes. And if a massive sudden spike in that pressure surges through the system, a single weak valve is going to blow and, well, you flood the entire building.
That visual is spot on. An
Yeah.
electrical transient, which is basically a sudden spike in power, does essentially the exact same thing to circuitry.
It just totally overwhelms it.
Right. It doesn't just make a screen flicker. It can completely fry the delicate components of a massive corporate presentation network or, black out a sports bar right in the middle of a playoff game.
Which means you clearly need a specialized defense mechanism to stop the pipes from bursting. But here is where I have to push back on our source material a bit.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I'm looking at the specs for this SurgeX MultiPak. It has 8 outlets and a standard 15 amp 120-volt plug.
Yeah, pretty standard looking.
Right. I mean, isn't this just a glorified power strip? Like, why wouldn't a business just buy a standard surge protector from the hardware store and save some money?
Well, what's fascinating here is how fundamentally different the underlying technology is, even if they look similar on the outside. Those conventional surge protectors from the hardware store, they rely on what the industry calls single-stage MOV circuitry.
Wait, hold on. Single-stage MOV. You're going to have to translate that for us. What exactly is an MOV?
Ah, good catch. So MOV stands for metal oxide varistor.
Okay.
The best way to understand an MOV is to think of it like a sponge that absorbs excess voltage.
Like soaking up the extra pressure?
Exactly. When a surge hits, the MOV soaks up that extra electrical energy so it doesn't reach your TV. But because consumer strips are single stage, it's literally just one small sponge.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Right, if a massive surge hits, that sponge gets completely overwhelmed, it degrades, and eventually it just gets destroyed.
Wow. And once that single sponge is gone, the next surge just rushes right past it into your extremely expensive 8K video wall.
Yep, the floodgates open.
Yeah.
But the SurgeX MultiPak abandons that standard completely in favor of multi-stage technology.
Okay, so it's not just one sponge.
No, not at all. Rather than relying on one sacrificial sponge, it uses a sophisticated combination of components to handle the energy in phases.
So how does that multi-stage process actually play out when a real surge hits?
Well, first, an inductor coil physically slows down the incoming surge of electricity.
So it sort of hits the brake, huh?
Right, exactly. And once the surge is slowed, a series of specialized capacitors absorb the bulk of that energy.
Okay.
And finally, any remaining harmless energy is safely redirected away from the connected equipment. I mean, it is a highly aggressive power filtration system specifically engineered to safeguard multi-panel displays.
It's not just catching the surge, it's dismantling it step by step, so the fragile components downstream never even feel a ripple.
Exactly. And by dismantling the surge rather than just absorbing it until failure, this multi-stage tech crucially reduces system downtime.
Which is the whole point for a business.
Right. It operates quietly behind the scenes without wearing itself out after just a few hits.
So what this all means is that the biggest, flashiest, multi-million-dollar video walls in the world are entirely at the mercy of this totally unglamorous, robust box doing its job quietly in a dark AV closet.
Yeah. Without it, the entire ecosystem is just one power spike away from going completely dark.
It really makes you look differently at the invisible backbone holding our tech together.
It really does.
And if single-stage MOV circuitry, that single vulnerable sponge, is the standard baseline for our everyday consumer electronics, it leaves you wondering,
Wondering what?
how many other conventional protections in our daily lives are actually just single points of failure waiting for an unexpected surge?